All right, the next stimulus is a go. It has been approved. I'll tell you all the details you need to know coming up. This is today's next Wise Step video. Thanks for being here. My name is Mike Bernard. I am the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners here at Korhorn Financial Group, a team of financial professionals all working together, collaborating together to help people execute financial wisdom in their financial life, doing comprehensive financial planning. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, smash that thumbs up. Why? Because the details of the new stimulus that Congress passed last night are coming up. I told you yesterday I was going to come to you today with how do you invest in the U, but that's going to have to wait because Congress did pass the next stimulus program last night. I'm expecting the president to sign it into law at any time now. And what does that mean? We've got PPP round 2. So this stimulus plan is, for the most part, all to help small businesses. So if you run a small business, if you work at a small business, if you own a small business, this message is for you because it's going to go fast. Basically, the new stimulus plan is just under $500 billion, so didn't get up to that $1 trillion mark, and it's essentially extending $300 and some billion into the CARES Act for the PPP program, which is, well, that's redundant. So it's the Paycheck Protection Program, okay? And out of that, there's certain dedicated funding to small business or to small banks and credit unions. I'll talk about that in a second. But so that's 300 and change. How do you get all the way up to the 500 billion? There's additional support in there for a couple different industries, healthcare industry in particular. So, but the primary purpose of the stimulus is to put additional funds towards the PPP part of the CARES Act. All right, I don't know, as of the time I'm recording this, I don't know when they're actually opening applications and so on, but let me just quickly recap and then I'm gonna hit your action items for today. So the Paycheck Protection Program loan, it is a low interest, very low interest, short-term loan to small businesses, okay? But the unique thing about it is it has a forgivable feature. If you don't have your headcount, your employee headcount drop, and a few other instances from one time to another time, then the amount of this loan that's forgiven is equal to how much of the loan you use for salaries, for wages, I should say, because they add health insurance in that. They include retirement plan match contributions in that. They include payroll taxes in that. So what you use on wages, rent, and some utilities, okay? That's the amount of this loan that is forgiven. When this first came out in the CARES Act, about a month ago now, there was a lot of confusion because companies that were still operational, meaning they still had employees that they were paying, they were still paying rent, they were still operational, looked and said, I don't really need a loan that I'm gonna need to pay back. We're making ends meet. It's tough, we've had to cut, blah, 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 but I don't need a loan right now. I don't need an obligation. But guys, this has a forgivable feature, meaning you don't have to pay it back if you meet this criteria, and you don't have to pay tax on that forgiven amount either. So that is an enormous deal. So here's what happened. They had $349 billion allocated to this out of the CARES Act, and it took all of 13 days for those dollars to all be loaned out. It's been well covered by now that a lot of large companies were able to take advantage of this, and they've been, for the most part, shamed into giving the money back. And I think even there was some regulation that passed or that was communicated from the SBA last night that basically says if you have access to public funding, meaning you're a publicly traded company, you're not eligible for this and you're going to need to pay it back. So sorry, Ruth Chris, sorry, Shake Shack, sorry, others. They're not going to get this funding. But so here's what you need to do. If you were in line for the PPP last time, but you did not get approved, you need to contact your bank today. Today. I don't know when applications open and when they're going to start processing them, but part of the reason why these big banks are going to get in trouble for how they handled it the first time is they were supposed to, by law, they were supposed to process the applications on a first come, first served basis. They didn't. A lot of big banks didn't do that. Instead, they went to the largest loan amount. So the biggest companies, they're the ones that got the loans first, and that meant a lot of small businesses that needed this aid, it was intended for them, did not get it. Therefore, I think because of the scrutiny, I think banks are going to be more diligent with processing first come, first serve. Guys, my prediction is this $310 billion, this might sound like a lot of money. It's going to go fast because I think it might just be enough to cover the applications that are already in. You need to contact your bank today. Make sure they got your application. Make sure you have provided them everything that they need. Find out what their plan is. Find out when you're going to hear from them. Do everything possible to get to make sure that your loan application is in good order, okay? If you're still looking for a bank, now is the time to contact banks and say, hey, I need some help. Are you taking new applicants and so on? Now is the time to take action. Do not wait until they say, okay, you can start applying again. That's probably going to be too late. Start that process now. Second thing I tell you to do, if you were trying for the PPP, expected that you were going to get it and you didn't, apply for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, the EIDL. The reason why you'd probably be looking for the PPP loan is because you've got employees on payroll. Well, the EIDL gives you up to $1,000 per employee, up to 10 grand of basically a grant, a forgivable loan, an injection of cash. Now, if you get that EIDL, that 10 grand, and then you're later approved for the PPP, that they offset each other, okay? So there's no way to double dip on this thing, but there's no guarantee you're going to get the PPP. So right now, go to the SBA website and apply for the EIDL if you haven't done so already. That got additional funding in this new stimulus as well. They might also not really have enough funds to meet all their applications, but you can apply right now if you haven't already. That's if you have employees on your payroll. Finally, if you are a sole proprietor or a small business where it's just you were likely cut out of the last PPP and you likely have struggled to find a bank that will help you. Keep trying. That's the last action item. I would tell you, keep trying, don't give up. My hunch is this PPP round 2, my guess is there's not a round 3. My guess is there's not. There certainly could be if this thing gets worse. My guess is this might be it. So go out and take those steps. If you work at a small business, if you run a small business, if you own a small business or you're self-employed, go take those steps. All right, we've been helping all of our small business clients, giving them direction on this. And so if you're looking for a comprehensive financial planner that can help bring these ideas to you, help make sure that you're taking your next wise step in your financial life, reach out to your certified financial planner. You don't have one, you can contact a member of our team. You can find us online, corehorn.com. That's Corehorn with a K. All right, you're now ready. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.